The fur bearers had an incredible year, making an impact for fur-bearing animals and communities across Canada. From keeping wildlife issues in the news, to creating opportunities to help citizens call for change, to developing unique educational tools and activities, we achieved a lot thanks to our supporters. Here's a few of the highlights from the year. Over 500 black bears are killed annually by British Columbia's Conservation Officer Service, often for simply accessing human food or waste. Our Deadliest Communities for BC Black Bears program identifies areas where the most black bears are killed and drives the need for change. Through more than 25 articles, TV appearances, and radio features, millions of British Columbians, including policymakers, have learned about the consequences of their actions and the steps they can take to help black bears. The program also pinpoints municipalities where bear killings are most frequent, enabling us to engage these communities with coexistence tools. Geo-targeted educational videos and thousands of door hangers were distributed, offering tips on attractant management and safe bear encounters. This year, we proudly joined the Neighborhood Welcome Program in 4 BC municipalities. New residents now receive educational materials about living alongside black bears and magnets reminding them to manage attractants. We look forward to expanding these initiatives to foster coexistence and protect black bears across the province. We were excited to see a research paper examining the perception of wolves by Canadians that the fur bears contributed to as authors was published in a peer-reviewed open-access journal. This paper adds essential information to wolf conservation and advocacy efforts nationwide. We were also thrilled to support a We Howl mural initiative in British Columbia that brought attention to the issues wolves face through beautiful, original art by Drift Mural Company. Protecting wildlife, families, and pets from traps is a priority for the fur bearers. Following the tragic loss of a beloved dog named Caspi and other incidents on Prince Edward Island, thousands petitioned the government to ban trapping and prioritize wildlife coexistence. In response, the Standing Committee on Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability studied the issue. After presenting to the committee in May 2024, we closely followed their work. Their recently released report recommends prioritizing coexistence to reduce trapping, requiring signage near traps on public lands, and banning harmful glue traps. These are significant strides towards protecting wildlife and promoting coexistence in the province. Traps that caused serious injuries to raccoons in a mission area of British Columbia were called out by the fur bearers, leading to media coverage that showed residents the impact of trapping. With our friends at Exposed Wildlife Conservancy, we released a short trapping documentary series that highlights the impact of commercial and recreational trapping, snares, and what people need to know to help protect their families and wildlife. Our in-depth research led to the revelation that 100 pets were caught, injured, or killed by traps in British Columbia in the last several years, with a clear upward trend. Our traditional and social media outreach has led to thousands of people learning the truth about commercial and recreational trapping and the viewing of our professionally produced trap release videos on YouTube. The tragic story of Pearl highlighted the individual impact commercial and recreational trapping can have on a family. After not returning to the family farm, the Hartleys went looking for her. Pearl was found nearby, caught by a leg hold trap for as long as 3 days. The only option to save Pearl's life was amputation. Ultimately, the trapper responsible was charged. Pearl, while not as quick as she once was, has returned home and is healing and loved unconditionally by her family. Getting into communities to share information through the year is vital to our work. Discussing wildlife coexistence education, tools, and strategies, along with the realities of fur farming and commercial and recreational trapping, helps residents make informed choices and do their best to support wildlife and conservation locally. The Union of BC Municipalities Convention is an important event for the fur bearers. This conference brings together municipal leaders, policymakers, and their provincial counterparts to discuss current issues. There's also opportunity for municipalities to put forward resolutions they'd like the province to adopt. This year's resolutions, followed by the fur bearers, included calling for a ban on rodent glue traps, fireworks management, and increased funding for wildlife safety response officer programs. After years of effort by numerous nonprofits, community groups, and individuals, Health Canada announced that they were banning the use of the poison strychnine. This incredibly cruel and inhumane predicide has been used to kill animals like wolves, coyotes, black bears, and skunks. This was a massive victory for wildlife in Canada worth celebrating. In 2024, the fur bearers launched a campaign to end fur farming in Canada. As many countries ban fur farming around the world, it's time for Canada to join them and move fur farming into the past. We created a campaign website at furfarming.ca, providing Canadians with everything they need to know about fur farming and how they can join the movement to end it. Numerous supporting organizations across Canada support the call for a national ban on fur farming, and thousands of citizens like you have contacted their elected representatives calling for change. The fur bearers launched a federal petition that calls on the Canadian government to prohibit the practice of fur farming for all animal species. Throughout this campaign, we have exposed the fur farm industry's dependence on federal loans and demonstrated the industry's economic collapse over the past decade. We've raised concerns about fur farming with federal officials, including a fact check on fur industry statements made to the Senate over Bill C-275, a federal ag-gag bill. In 2024, the evidence is clear. Fur farming is a risk to humans, animals, and the environment. Heading into 2025, with your support, we will continue to work towards an end of fur farming in Canada. Everything that the fur bearers achieved this year is thanks to supporters like you. From generous donations, to signing and sharing petitions, to commenting on our reels, you're helping make an impact for fur-bearing animals across Canada. On behalf of our volunteer board of directors, staff, and the countless animals who benefit from everything you do, thank you. Happy holidays, and here's to 2024.